let you know that I'm kind of wrestling around with some ideas, and maybe you do this yourself as well too. But I'm trying to figure out the exact thing that I truly enjoy. As many of you may know, I'm going back to sales come Tuesday. Excited for that. Figure I'm really good at selling somebody else's product because I don't have to worry about the fulfillment. Still have the plan of like doing the YouTube videos, which that's what I'm doing right now. So I know this will happen when it is meant to happen. I was thinking about this though, or the things that I've been experimenting with is like, what do I enjoy spending my days doing the most? Like I've spent my days hiking, like spent the whole day, wake up, prepare my breakfast, go on the hike, or make my breakfast, have a lunch prepared, go on a hike, and I'm out in nature like all day, a full 12 hours, and I come back and I go to the gym or something along those lines, come home, go right to bed. And I've done that multiple times and I thoroughly enjoy that. And then there's been other days that I've also been experimenting with as well too, where like I spend the whole day like road biking or something along those lines. And I would just road bike for like 4 hours, 5 hours or something like that, and then just kind of chill out for the rest of the day. I enjoyed that a lot as well too. I haven't been doing that as much lately because it's cold out right now for one, and two, I need to get my bike tuned up, as it's kind of like there's like this knocking noise because I ran it through mud a couple months ago. And I never really cleaned it correctly, so that might be a little bit of it. Then there's other days where all I've done is I've spent time just watching like Netflix or something along those lines. Like I spend a full day watching Netflix. I'm like, okay, well this is fun and exciting as well too, because I get to watch like different movies and TV shows. And then I made a video a while back where I was talking about, well, I used to feel guilty and bad for doing those types of things, so I don't really do that much anymore. It was fun. It still is fun from time to time, just to like spend that full day like inside, not doing anything, just as much as it's fun to spend the whole day outside hiking and biking and walking and doing all of that when it's nice outside. When it's cold outside, not so much of my favorite personally. And then today what I ended up doing was I played Mario Odyssey for a couple of hours, listened to a philosophy lecture, and thoroughly enjoyed that as well too. And then lately I've been spending like full days, or a couple days ago beforehand, which I really enjoyed the day. Like I was thinking about that. I was like, I wrote for a couple of hours, like just journaled, wrote whatever was on my mind for that day. And then went and had some coffee, read for about an hour or two. So like I wrote for probably an hour and a half or so, and then I went and read for about hour and a half-ish or so as well too. And then I watched a couple of episodes of Preacher on Netflix, and then I went to the gym, talked to some friends, hung out, came back home, and I believe then I just kind of like sat and meditated or something along those lines. I can't remember the last thing that I might have watched another episode of Preacher, or maybe I played Mario Odyssey and listened to a book at the end of that day. I can't remember the last thing that I did, but I remember that day I really enjoyed that aspect of things as well too. It's this constant, how do I want to spend my days, because I like to be able to spend my days somewhat similar but also somewhat different, because I understand the more similar days that you have, the better you get at doing that said thing, because you've just done it so many times. So I'm just trying to figure out the exact thing that I enjoy doing the most, because lately I've been reading a lot more books, listening to more books, listening to more lectures on like philosophy as well too. I was watching a guy do like woodworking videos as well today. I like to be able to do things, I think, with my friends a bit more, like on a weekend or something along those lines, like hire somebody to film a video for me and my friends wherever we're going, and then have them edit that said video for upload purposes, do some solo stuff, do some group stuff, just kind of do whatever it feels like I need to go, is kind of my thought. At least that's kind of what I'm leaning more towards right now. Because I like the business content stuff, dude. I do. It's just also at the same time, it's just that also, like, it's fun. But I was thinking about this last night. It's kind of, I'm not trying to offend anybody that is into those types of things. It's basic, I would say. Like, it's simple. Like, it's easy. Whereas, like, the spiritual stuff, the esoteric, the metaphysical, the unseen is so much more fun to me, dude. Like, it's so much more fun. getting to think something and then hear it, or getting to imagine something and then see it. Like, that to me it's so fun. Like, it's exciting, it's fun. Like, the business stuff, like, we have that as an option as well too. Don't get me wrong, and I believe we still can do it. One of the lectures I was listening to around philosophy was Neminic thinking, I believe, or Neminic philosophy. It wasn't by Descartes, I don't believe. Let me know down in the comments. I'd have to double check. But there's an aspect of one of the stories that one of the guys was telling was how he ended up wanting to get into like entrepreneurship because he thought like it was the next cool thing, because he wanted to impress everybody else around him. And he found out that he didn't really enjoy the process of entrepreneurship instead, so he ended up like going back and getting a psych philosophy degree instead. And I was like, it's kind of true, because for myself as well, like, I enjoy this. I enjoy selling, I enjoy talking, I enjoy exercise. Like, there's aspects that I thoroughly do enjoy a lot more than some other aspects that other people would enjoy. And that's something that I've learned over this like past year a lot more than I had ever learned prior to this moment, is we all have our own genuine interest of the things that we ourselves want to do. I just assumed that since I would have thoughts every now and then of one of my first jobs that I had when I was at a Pizza Hut, I remember just thinking this, I was like, I don't ever want to, because I worked with like other people that were in like their 30s and like had kids and they're like delivering pizza. I just remember in the back of my mind, and when I was there, I was like, I don't want to have to be here when I'm their age. Like, that's the last place that I want to be, so I want to develop the skills to ensure that I never have to be in a place like this when I'm in my 20s or 30s or things like that. And I had to realize that sometimes people do want to be in those places. They enjoy those things. They enjoy the ability of being able to like drive around and get free food and like do that type of work, because there has to be people that are older running these bigger like restaurants. Like, you're not going to have a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old running a restaurant. You'll have them working for you because it's a job that they can do, but like the person that's actually physically running the business itself, or the restaurant or the shop, like, it's an actual physical quote-unquote adult. And that's just something that I guess I've had to wrap my mind around, is we all get to make the decisions that we ourselves want to make, and we can't make everybody happy with the choices that we ourselves make. The thing is, though, we can make one person happy, and the person that we do make happy is the person's happiness that matters the most, and that's our own happiness. So if we can make ourselves happy with the things that we ourselves do, and don't shame ourselves into playing video games or watching movies or reading books or not reading books or talking with this person or not talking with this person or going to this thing or not going to that thing, as long as we don't do those things and we do the things that make ourselves happy, I believe the rest of the world changes around us. That's a pretty cool feeling. That's a pretty cool feeling. You just have to make yourself happy. Like, that's the thing, dude. And I feel like too often everybody else online, at least people that I would listen to, would always be telling me like, oh, if you aren't doing this, or if you aren't doing this, or if you like, remove all your friends, don't play video games, don't watch Netflix, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm just like, I get it and I understand it, because I thought it was cool to be able to have like the $100 million company or something like that. And don't get me wrong, I still feel like I can obtain that, and I will. Just might take longer. Like, I'm not in a rush to be able to get there, dude. Like, this whole life thing it's a journey. Like, we might as well enjoy it instead of having to be worried about, oh, I need to do this today, or I have to be here to do this thing right now. It's just like, well, what if you just enjoyed the process instead of being like, well, this 20-year-old has this thing, or this person that's just like me, they have this thing. It's just like, okay, and you don't know where they started, where they're coming from. All you know is the thing that you yourself know. You can only know your story. You can't know somebody else's story. You can't know the amount of books or the journaling or the self-inquiry that they themselves have done, because for all you know, they haven't done any. And 99% of the people, and my stats are probably wrong, I just made that number up, but from people that I talk with and from what people have told me, people don't look at the things in the ways that I look at things, and hopefully I'm inspiring you to look at the things then as well too, around yourself. Like looking within, like what do you want? Where do you want to go? What makes you happy? What do you enjoy doing? How do you like spending your time? Doing more things along those lines instead of like, you have to do this if you want to be in this place, because that's what works for that other person. Yes, certain aspects can work for you as well too, because I've picked up habits and certain characteristics or traits from other people that I look up to. It's human nature. At the end of the day, you still have to make the decision for yourself on what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what lights you up, how do you want to spend your time, what sparks interest or curiosity, what drives you to want to know more about yourself than you've ever known beforehand. I could have shot that. Sorry, my guy. Like, those are the things that I myself enjoy learning about. Those are the things that I myself like to know more about. Because the only person that we can ever change is ourselves. I've tried to change other people. Trust me. I've tried. And it doesn't work. But as soon as I start to change myself, my beliefs or my thoughts or what I know or whatever it may be, and I question all of that, things start to change in miraculous ways. So don't get upset over yourself or mad or whatever it may be when you aren't amounting to somebody else's perception of yourself. Are you doing better than you were doing beforehand? If the answer is yes, then keep doing it. You're good. I'm going. Yeah, if the answer is yes, then keep doing what you do. Keep trying, keep showing up, keep being the best version of yourself that you can be. And question, like, be curious, learn. Be willing to look at things that other people aren't willing to look at, because in all likelihood, most people, a lot of people, don't like looking at the things that we enjoy, that like I look at, or maybe that you look at, because they're more concerned about how others are perceiving themselves instead of looking at themselves and figuring out, how could I improve this, or what am I doing wrong, or how could I look at this from a different angle, and then start to journal or think or brainstorm or whatever it may be around those set ideas and concepts, and test it. Try it. Don't take my word for it as if like, yeah, you need to do this thing to be able to get to point A. Like, try it, test it, see if I do point A like Caleb says, then maybe I will get point B. And if not, then like maybe just question it yourself as well too, and be like, well, what do I want? How do I enjoy spending my days? Do I want to hike more? Do I want to camp more? Like, what are the things that I want? Because the more you ask those questions, the more you'll, at least from what I've been able to see from my own experience, find a bit better relationships with, one, yourself, and two, with others that you're around. So hope this helps, and see you tomorrow.